All right, Mary Ann, could you take roll, please?
Mr. Richard?
Here.
Ms. Ruska?
You got
Dr.
research?
King?
Frank.
Mr. Moon?
Here.
Mr. Walsh?
Here.
Mr. Welch?
Here.
Mr. Cindy?
Here. Before we start our meeting, the RB family lost a very good person. So on Thursday, regrettably, Frank Chappelle passed away. Frank served 9 years here at Riverside Brookfield High School as an Aramark custodian. His easygoing manner and friendliness were his trademarks. He was always seeking opportunities to help people and won numerous individual and team service awards from Aramark as results. Frank was 62 years old, and he's survived by his wife and 4 children and numerous grandchildren. Please join me in a moment of silence in honor of Frank Chappelle. Thank you. All right. Our next item on the agenda is visitors' comments. Is there anybody on this side of the room who would like to speak up and talk?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Clavin from Riverside. My heart goes out to the 12 teachers let go this year from RB. There was a reason they were compensated well, and it's easy to answer. These teachers are well educated, having master's degrees in their fields. They were dedicated to their profession. They were competent, hardworking, very accomplished teachers who gave their students the intense knowledge that comes with many years of teaching. In other words, you get what you pay for. Their quality is far superior to any beginning teacher starting out. I'm not sure why we are pretending that these advanced degrees are somehow a liability to the school instead of an asset to the school. What these teachers gave our students is being accepted into outstanding colleges. This year's seniors have been accepted to Harvard, Stanford, Yale, and 2 were accepted to Eastman College in New York, considered one of the best music schools in the world. Mr. McGogan being asked to retire early this year is a huge loss for this school. For 18 years, he built up an incredible music department. I was shocked to hear that all he was offered next year to teach part-time was a beginning arts survey class that students proficiency out of in a cadet band. Out of respect for the 18 years he taught the music theory, I just assumed he would be the next to teach it next year. I'm shocked that everyone here has such a complacent attitude about our huge losses of these teachers' livelihoods and our students' futures. Our teachers deserve the courtesy of being listened to at a meeting between the school board and the teachers' union. Why is the school board so reluctant to have a dialogue with our teachers? It should be noted that Tim Walsh and Laura Huska were decent and open-minded enough to want to grant the teachers a simple courtesy of a dialogue. The school board should avoid preconceived prejudices and go into the teachers' meeting with an open mind. Thank you.
Anybody else who want to speak on this side of the room? All right, anybody on this side of the room? Okay, seeing none, we're going to go to student and staff recognition. We're doing it a new way this time, so I'm not scrambling for certificates and everything.
So Mr. Sidney will shake hands as a board representative. Pam will issue the certificates, and I will call up the students. I need that as I read it, I'll do it. First, we'd like to recognize our math club. The Illinois Council of Teachers Mathematics, the ICTM, regional contest was Saturday, February 25th at Concordia University. The Math Club is a part of a really tough region: St. Ignatius, Fenwick, Hinsdale South, Glenbard South, and Fenton. The students did an outstanding job, and we'd like to recognize the following students. First of all, in the Algebra 1 contest, and I apologize on the names, Andrew Salige, 3rd place. Is Andrew here? Come forward, Andrew. Good job, Andrew. Andrew, you can stay up there wait for the rest of your teammates. In the oral competition for the seniors, we had Molly Chaney, 2nd place. Is Molly here?
I don't see it. No.
How about Kyle Perfect, 2nd place? Okay. And then we had state qualifying scores from freshmen and sophomores on the 8-person team. We have David Buska, freshman. Ezekiel Linares, freshman. John Roebling, freshman. Andrew is already up there, but Andrew Salige. Catherine Andrulis, sophomore. Gabriella Bova, sophomore. Isabella Soluri, sophomore. And Caroline Was, sophomore. Caroline here?
Caroline here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in acknowledging our Math Club students.
On the 5th, May 5th, they go downstate to compete and represent our beat. So congratulations to us all.
I also think we should acknowledge the Math Club parents because that was a group that privately sponsored the Math Club this year to bring it back, and it ran right up against the deadline, and they worked really hard with the administration and with the community and other parents to come up with that funding. And as you can see, their efforts were not wasted, as our students, with a short period of time to prepare, are already exceeding expectations at these competitions. So I'd like to thank the parents. The next, we have the FCCLA District Competition, which was February 17, 2012 at the College of DuPage. All students were first-time competitors in their event and did very well. We have in the category of pastry arts and cookie decorating, we have Rachel Arp, 3rd place. Is Rachel here?
Oh, I can give it to her.
Also in the pastry arts cake decorating, Jessica, I'm going to mess, Litovets? How do you say it, Jessica? Litovets, I'm sorry, thank you. Jessica. The Gardet manager salad preparation, Michelle Morris, 2nd place. And Miss Farley is here? Yes. Miss Farley, come on up and get recognized. I also think...
I just want everybody to know, I had the honor to be within 4 TV shows of Cook This, which we sample everything from Argentinian cooking to
burgers.
The burgers.
Yeah. I would highly recommend that you go to the different restaurants.
That's right.
That were here and donated their time.
The only problem was it was 9 o'clock in the morning. And it's good, but not at 9 o'clock.
I'd like to. I think we should also recognize Miss Farley. Miss Farley, hold on one second. Miss Farley and Miss Peterson did an outstanding job this past week. We recognized all of our non-certified staff and our administrative professionals for Administrative Professional Day. Quest catered the event, and the cooking students and the hospitality students worked on setting up a restaurant-like atmosphere, serving the staff. It was just amazing. We did a Mexican heritage setting, and they had a taco bar, a nacho bar, and they had outstanding decorations, outstanding chocolate cake. It was, the students and the staff did an excellent job, and Ms. Farley helped coordinate that, so I would like to recognize her. Next, we have the IHSA All-State Academic Team. Nearly 450 nominations were received from the IHSA member schools, and Margaret and Jonathan were 2 of 50 students selected by the Evaluation Committee for Honorable Mention recognition. So at this time, I'd like to call up Jonathan Kingsetti and Margaret McLaughlin for their honorable mention in the IHSA All-State Academic Team. Jonathan, Margaret, good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have our Golden Apple Scholars of Illinois, class of 2012. Ariana has been selected to be among the 135 members of the Golden Apple Scholars of Illinois, class of 2012. The Golden Apple Scholars of Illinois is a highly competitive program that seeks the best and brightest of Illinois youth interested in a teaching career. Over 1,200 nominations were received, and once again, only 135 out of 1,200 received this award. Ladies and gentlemen, Ariana Gonzalez.
Ariana will be honored on May 12th, on Saturday, May 12th, at DePaul University. And I will be going to represent the school, and I will bring Ms. Peterson with me as well. Thank you. Thank you so much. Very proud of you.
Next, we have the School Citizen of the Year, or the Scotty Award from West 40. West 40, which is the cooperative in Cook County that our district falls under. West 40 recognizes students who have been chosen by their schools as good citizens and models for others to emulate. Grades and activities are important considerations, but only a small part of the selection process. Each school is asked to develop its own criteria as a further guideline for selection. The school principal and teachers use this criteria to nominate 1 student per year to receive the Scotty Award. Ladies and gentlemen, our Scotty Award winner is Emily Filick.
Emily was already honored at, what was a couple weeks ago, right? We went and she was honored with a number of other students, and so she was recognized for incredible community service. Do you want to talk to someone about a few things that you spend your life doing?
On a weekly basis, every Sunday, I help teach first grade Sunday school through my church. And then once a month, I volunteer with my family at a food pantry. And then last year, I helped teach an ESL class here through school.
For parents in the evening. So she's a very good person. She's on our executive board. You'll hear in a few minutes if you haven't already. So thank you.
Next, we'd like to recognize Miss Kara Gallagher. I don't know, is Kara here tonight?
I did not see her. No.
I'd still like to make sure we read this. Kara is a CSpan 2012 Teacher Fellowship Program finalist. The CSpan Education Foundation named 3 innovative social studies teachers as recipients of the CSpan's 2012 Teacher Fellowship Program. The CSpan Education Foundation offers this highly selective program to teachers nationwide who demonstrate creative use of CSpan programming in their teaching. Miss Gallagher was among the recipients. I'd like to acknowledge at this time Miss Kara Gallagher.
She is being given $7,000 to go for 4 weeks to Washington, D.C. to work at CSpan to create materials to inspire teachers around the world. So this is a very competitive process. She filled out an application. She then had, as she was selected as one of the 6 finalists in the nation, she had to have a videotape submitted of 15 minutes of her teaching in class. She had to have an interview, and she was one of the 3 finalists in the nation. This is an incredible honor for her and brings great honor to RB as a school as well. So just wanted to share those details with you.
I think this is our last one. And I'd like to recognize the National Endowment for the Humanities Fellowships. And we had 3 RB teachers receive fellowships: John Izagiri, Huck Jim, and Jim Crow at the Mark Twain House in Hartford, Connecticut. Kathleen Harsey contested Homeland's Knowledge, History, and Culture of Historic Santa Fe. And Charisse Lopez contested Homeland's Knowledge, History, and Culture of Historic Santa Fe. And also Charisse Lopez was recognized for Empires of the Wind, Exploration of the U.S. Pacific West Coast in San Diego, California. Are Charisse, Kathleen, or John present tonight? I know John said he had master's class, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me recognize Kathleen, John, and Shirley.
Bear with me for a few seconds as I brag about our teachers. These are very competitive to get. They're obviously competing against teachers across the nation. There can be as few as 16 slots. If you notice, 2 of our teachers got into one of the same fellowships, which is just amazing. So our teachers, they have to write essays that explain how they use this and what they've done in their personal life so that they stand out among others. So again, it's a real feather in our cap here at RB that we have our teachers willing to do that, but also being recognized for their scholarship. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is the Student Association report.
Okay, so last Friday, we had the elections for class officer, and there was only 2 contested spots, sophomore president and freshman class president. And for sophomore class president, Isis Galindo won, and then for freshman class president, Robbie Filik won. He's over there.
Congratulations.
Robbie, stand up. Stand up.
And then next Monday, the exec board will give their speeches, the contestants that are, fighting for the spot. There's 6 spots and there's 8 people running, so yeah, we'll see.
And then yesterday, Madison and I had the privilege of attending the Nobel Peace Summit downtown for the Nobel Peace Laureates, and we heard 2 panels of speakers talk about investing peace, and then also just kind of their opinions on different social issues that are going on, and there was an interview and time to ask questions, and it was a very good experience.
It was also great that RB was nominated, or not nominated, but contacted to go to this thing, because when they announced the schools there, it was all CPS schools except for RB, so we stood out to them as like people that would benefit from this. And it was just really interesting because Jimmy Carter was there, the former president of South Africa, the former president of Poland, and Mikhail Gorbachev was also there. So it was just really interesting to learn about all those different.
So how did you get selected to go? There were only 35 students that were selected to go and 5 teachers.
I believe we had to be nominated by teachers to go, teachers in the social studies department, and then I believe there was a drawing held, possibly.
You had to be nominated, you're right, by social studies teachers, and they got together to decide the 35 students who would go. So it was a range of students in all grade levels. It had to be students that really stood out as being interested in the social sciences and very engaged in their classes. I'd like to add a few things. I think that I was told that New Trier and Lamont also went, just to put the record straight. But when I got this call that we were invited to this event, I asked, how is that possible that we were invited, why was our school selected? And they said the committee got together and reviewed schools within Cook County, and they selected your school. They didn't tell us the criteria. So just so you know who was on the committee, thank you, Emily, she gave me the program, because I gave up one of my seats. 5 teachers got to go, I didn't go. It was a real sacrifice, especially after hearing how wonderful it was. But the university presidents of University of Illinois, Northwestern University, University of Chicago, UIC, DePaul, Loyola, Columbia, and the School of the Art Institute were on the selection committee. There were cultural institutions such as the Field Museum and the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. There were business magnates there, J.P. Morgan Chase, Madison Dearborn Partners, and the Bank of America. There were foundations represented like the Rockefeller Foundation and the McCormick Foundation, and other committees such as the NATO Host Committee, the Chicago Council on Global Affairs, and the Tourism Bureau. And these people sat together in a room, and somehow they selected, again, RB, which is an amazing opportunity for our kids. And they actually are reimbursing us for the cost of the bus to go down there. So it was a great honor to be there. Our students met beforehand, and they've also been doing reflection. They've been writing about who they heard resonated most with them and what they're planning on doing with that, how they were inspired to make a difference in the world as a result. So I'm very, very proud of all of them, and thanks for reporting on that as well.
Okay, and then as the year's ramping up, as we've talked about before, we've been doing Spirit Friday competitions on one Friday a month for every month. And we only have one more Spirit Friday to go, and in the lead currently is Miss Morelli's Madrigal class, and they had an 88% participation in their class, so 88% of the students were wearing blue and white. And we've just seen a really big improvement in school spirit because of this activity that we do. So unless someone beats the Madrigals, they will probably win our Spirit Friday competition this semester. And
Thank you. Is that
that
anything
it?
else? When's prom?
May 4th.
And where's it at?
The Riverside Art Center.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot.